Spin 1038, you're listening to Plan B with me, Sarina Bellissimo. Now, she's one of the most talked about female British artists at the moment. She's got a gorgeous, and some may actually describe it as a hauntingly beautiful voice, and she's already won a Grammy. Who am I talking about? It's Foxes, and I'm happy to say she joins us on the line now. Foxes, thanks for joining us on Plan B.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Now, the first thing I need to start off with, Foxes. How do you go from Louisa Rose Allen to Foxes?
I know, it is a tricky one. There should be another 4 of me or something. But
Yeah.
I think, I mean, it's funny because now I'm sort of like, why on earth did I call myself Foxes? The thing is, there was another female in pop that had a very similar name to me. So I sort of felt like at the time I needed to change it to something. And I wanted to change it to something that felt, I guess, quite ambiguous and weird in a way. I wanted people to go to the music first and not necessarily think about who it was behind it.
I have to admit, when I first heard your stuff, I was convinced that it was a band. And then I became more and more intrigued, going, oh, I want to know more about Foxes. For the first time ever, we didn't really know about the artist. It was all about the music, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird, but I mean, I wrote a song when I was really young called Like Foxes Do, and a bit later on when I had to change my name, one of my friends was like, what do you think about the name Foxes? And I think we were almost just taking the piss. We were just joking. And then I was like, that's ridiculous. I can't be called Foxes. And but for some reason, it just stuck in my head, and it felt like it went with music, and it just felt right. And I sort of called my mum like 3 days later, and I said, Mum, what do you think about the name Foxes? And she was just like, bawled over, and she was like, I can't believe you're saying that. She was like, last night I had this dream about these foxes running up our street, and they were like howling and making all these haunting noises, but it sounded beautiful in my dream. And she said she woke up thinking it reminded her of my music.
Wow.
And I just literally got shivers, and I was like, that is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. And I was like, well, it's done then. I'm going to be called Foxes.
It has been a phenomenal year for you. Foxes, most people start their career going, you know what, I aspire to one day winning a Grammy. You've already done that.
I know. I mean, I have always aspired to win a Grammy since I was a baby. It was everything to me. I had a vision board when I was little with everything I wanted in the future, and there was this massive Grammy just in the middle of it, and I was about 15 when I did that.
The fact that you've wanted this since the age of 15, does that mean you had your Grammy acceptance speech rehearsed?
No, I'm definitely someone in life that just doesn't have very much prepared, and I think I'm always, I was so shocked. I was with Disclosure and Sam Smith, and we were sort of like Brits abroad, and it was all really fun, but, they actually, at the ceremony in America, a lot of them, they don't have any alcohol. So we all decided halfway through to just pop across the road to get a beer, like literally to a diner, in a Vivienne Westwood gown, just before I was about to be announced. And, I just sort of thought, I'm not going to get it. Calvin's definitely going to get it, so we can sneak off. I was being very, very silly. But and then my manager called me, and he was like, what are you doing? Come back. They're about to call your category. So I ran back, and, we sat there, and then they called my name, and I literally threw my purse in the air, and I just didn't know what to say. I think I still had chewing gum in my mouth, and I literally just word vomited, and I thanked my mum. I think that's almost all I remember. I just said, thank you, Mum.
And what's it like actually walking down those red carpets? And it's not just, a tiny red carpet. It's red carpets with Beyonce, Pharrell Williams, the biggest names in the music industry. I'm sure people that you've looked up to. What's it like turning around going, okay, I'm being interviewed, but right behind me, there's Beyonce?
It's interesting because actually, when you sort of are in that situation, it just doesn't feel very real. You're like, that's Beyonce, that's Paul McCartney, what the hell is going on? But all of those pop stars, they are actually lovely, really, really nice. They're very, in a weird way, kind of normal.
Yeah.
So, the Grammys, it wasn't too sort of scary.
Do you know what I'd find scary? All those photographers screaming out my name and asking me to pose. Because, we were having photos taken for our website here at Spin. And after the second one, I've got no poses left.
Honestly, out of all of it, I could bump into Beyonce, make a fool of myself. But honestly, I'm totally with you. I cannot stand in front of a camera and feel, like it's normal that they're shouting my name. That still is something to this day that I am like, what is going on? This is mental. It is very weird, and you don't know how to pose. You don't get a lesson on how to pose.
Now, Glorious, it's out this month. How are you feeling about the album? What can you tell us about it?
Well, I'm so excited to have it out. This is a piece of work I've been working on for so long, and it's sort of like a baby, I guess. It feels like my baby, and it's my first album, so there's so much in it, and it's all of me.
And you're going to be touring around the UK with this album.
Yeah.
I was on your website. I did not see any Dublin dates.
No, I know. Well, the thing is, I'll be doing that soon. I did do a Dublin date in March, which was very, very amazing. But it's annoying because I always try and put as much as I can in, but there's not always, you can't do everything. So
Yeah.
I will definitely be coming to Dublin very soon. I literally fell in love with Dublin last time I was there.
Because we have fallen in love with you and we love your music.
Oh.
And I use it to get myself ready on a Saturday night, or even if I just want to get myself into a happy mood, you are my go-to.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. Now, I've often wondered this though, right? I get your CD and you're my go-to. Are you ever your go-to? Is it weird for you to put your CD on and go, okay, I'm going to listen to myself now?
I would never do that. It's funny because I can't imagine an artist that would do that. I don't like hearing myself talk, and I think a lot of people don't. You're like, who is that? It is a weird one. I sort of tend to write a song and put it out there, and then, I don't think I'd listen back. I definitely wouldn't have an hour of listening to myself. I think I'd drive myself mental.
Who's your go-to?
My go-to, there are so many amazing artists out right now. I love Sam Smith, and I love Banks. There's some real sort of great voices coming out, and people with something really strong to say, which is really great.
Yeah, it's an exciting time in the music industry right now. I haven't been this excited about music in a long time.
Yeah, it is. I feel like people are getting a chance to do something different, and I think radio is starting to realise that people want to hear something different, and it's great. I think there's so many genres out there now, and so many things are coming back. So it does feel like a really strong time.
Yeah. Foxes, thank you so much for spending time with us. Can't wait to see you back here in Ireland.
Watch this spot. I'll definitely be back.